How is everyone today? My name's Amanda Bruce, and this is Jennifer Klug, our Executive Director, and we are thrilled to be with you today for a 2026 convention Q&A. So, Jennifer, as people log on, I also want to mention if you're watching this live, please feel free to put any questions you have in the box at any time. We'll answer as many as we can. Many of you sent them in advance today. That was great and very helpful. Thank you so much. Jennifer, how have you been? How are you doing post on the road? And how are you doing as we look forward to the convention this year?
Well, 2026 is off to a bang. I can hardly believe that it's January 20th already, and that convention for our 50th anniversary, our registration for our 50th anniversary convention opens in just, 11 days on February 1st. So it is right around the corner, and I am so excited for all the things that we have in store in 2026 as we celebrate this 50th. So, stay tuned. You've heard about some of it, but there's more coming.
Oh yeah, but there's more where that came from. Or to quote Reading Rainbow, to quote LeVar Burton, don't take my word for it. So we have a lot to cover today, and so what we're going to do is we are going to start with some of the questions that were submitted in advance, and then again, if you're watching this live and you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box and we will get to them. So Jennifer, let's start with the beginning. So I'm actually going to start right away with a question that was submitted in advance. And the question was, I have not attended NPM conventions before. Can you let me know what to expect in general if I decide to attend this year? This was sent earlier today. Thank you very much. So would you mind addressing that?
That is such a great question because I'd like to remind our membership that the first convention I ever attended was in 2021. So my experience was brand new along with many others. And of course, we know that NPM is going to have wonderful liturgy and new music and old favorites. What makes NPM unique is the fellowship, that ability to connect with other music directors, other instrumentalists, other ensemble members who are doing the same thing that you are doing, but from all around the country. And then, of course, hearing some fantastic educational opportunities through our keynote addresses, our breakouts, product resource sessions to learn about what's new on the horizon. And then, of course, hearing so much new music to bring back with you to your ministry. And it's a pretty fast-paced 3 days together, but we try to leave some time in there for you to be able to spend that time with one another and share that lived experience as a minister.
Great. Okay, good. All right, so let's talk about a little bit more specifics. So the dates for this convention are officially July 20th to the 24th, as our logo shows. But of course, we do have some pre-convention events happening before that. So can you share just a rough idea of some of the pre-convention events? We're not going to go through all of them in length, but can you give a little teaser?
So our first pre-convention event actually happens on Sunday, the 19th, and we have an opportunity for registrants to see the monuments at night with a guided tour. So that is really a quintessential Washingtonian experience. And then on Monday, we have our pre-convention opportunities during the day. So a Cantor Institute, the Organ Crawl, the National Catholic Handbell Festival as well, and some others that you'll see online at registration. And we kick off Monday night with our official exhibit opening.
Okay, great. And then the opening ceremony itself, the opening
Yes.
is really officially what, Tuesday morning?
Tuesday morning.
Okay. All right, great. And so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are really going to be varied in structure, but similar in structure. So of course, we'll start each morning with a keynote address, correct? A plenum.
Yes.
A plenum.
Yes.
Then we'll have various breakouts, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. Can you talk a little bit about the lunchtime concert opportunities and then the concerts in the evening, just to give
Yeah,
us a rough idea.
yes. We have some terrific things this year. Really excited to have a blend of many different styles across the liturgical music spectrum, really bringing the wonderful breadth that our church offers into sort of the microcosm of an NPM convention. So we have some lunchtime concerts. For example, one, we're going to have a screening of the new Taizé documentary. So that's going to be really excited. We'll also have some organ music featured as well. And then our evening concerts, which will take place on Tuesday and Wednesday, will be at the Basilica on Tuesday evening for that one. And we'll be able to hear the choir of the Basilica, some terrific organ music, and we'll also be treated to hearing the carillon there as well, which is very well known. And then on Wednesday, we will get to hear and that will on Tuesday evening, that will feature Peter Latona, one of our pastoral musicians of the year. And then our concerts, we have two concerts on Wednesday, and those concerts will be featuring Roger Holland, another one of our pastoral musicians of the year, as well as Rudy and Stella Lopez. So we're, again, a great variety, but as we were saying at the beginning, it's a great way to sort of fill our vessels and go back and continue our ministry.
So you mentioned that Peter Latona, Roger Holland,
Mhm.
and Rudy and Stella are all award winners this year.
Mhm.
Can you talk about why there are so many award winners this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we've certainly heard that one a lot. In 2025, because we were piloting our on the road events, the board decided to take a pause in presenting the national awards. So that gave us an opportunity in 2026 to present more awards to worthy musicians from across the country, but also really recognize again, how many riches we have within our church. And recognizing our 50th anniversary was the perfect time to do that.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the location. So,
Mm.
this year, we're not at a hotel like we often are. We're not at a convention center. We're at Catholic University. So, share a little bit about what we can expect being at Catholic U.
Mhm. Yeah. One of our goals over the past several years has been trying to increase our relationships with Catholic colleges and universities. If you spent some time on the road this summer, you know that in both San Antonio and in Philadelphia, we were on Catholic college campuses, and we wanted to continue that trend in 2026. We felt it was really important for our 50th that we return to Washington, D.C., just as we were here for our 25th anniversary. And Catholic University is the flagship university of the Catholic Church in the United States, was the natural place to have that. So they have really everything that we need right there. They do have the Prisbella Conference Center, which is really functions as their student center during the year, that has a very large gathering space. It, of course, has on-campus residence options, and it has on-campus dining options as well. And then because the Basilica Shrine is just a stone's throw from the campus, really brought it all together for us in proximity.
Okay, great. We have a lot of questions coming in. And by the way, if I look over here, it's because I have my iPad set up with all the questions going in live. So I'm not ignoring everyone, but I am looking at all of your questions. A lot of them are going to hold at the end, but I do have a couple right now that I want to just mention because I think
Mhm.
this is a good time to do it. It's about Catholic U.
Mhm.
So first off, is there going to be any scooter rental available for Catholic U?
Mhm. Yes, we are currently looking into that, and we do plan to have scooter rentals available. And we'll look into places where you might be able to store them and charge them as well. We know that would be very important. Also, at the time of registration, if you indicate that you have any type of mobility concern and you're requesting an accommodation, we will be renting golf carts. So if you need assistance in getting from, say, the Prisbilla Center, our main location, to one of the breakout rooms that might be in a classroom or over to the Basilica, we will have some transportation available to meet that need. And we will also have a couple of golf carts in service to get registrants from the metro stop up to the Prisbilla Center as
Okay,
well.
good. And I think
Mhm.
it's a good time to just pause also and mention that Catholic University has its own stop on the DC Metro line
Sure
on the Red
does.
Line. So
Yes.
we're going to talk a little bit more about accommodations in a minute here, but I think it's good to mention that too. So as you
Mhm.
consider where you want to stay and how you want to orient yourself in the area, CUA is actually quite well situated in that regard.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, great. Oh, good. Oh, people are sending in great questions about Catholic U. Here's another one. Hi, all. I'm wondering about wheelchair accessibility. What about the buildings? I can travel to campus, but what about the buildings?
Mhm. Yes, most of the buildings have excellent accessibility, especially our main space. The long name for it is the Prisbella Center. You'll hear us talk about it shorthand as the Priz, PRYZ. So if I happen in the next 30 minutes or so to say the Priz, that's what I'm talking about, our main location. Of course, the Basilica Shrine has access as well. And if you are considering staying on campus, again, at the time of your registration, please let us know that you need an accessible room, and we can work on that for you as well.
Great. Okay, great. Another great question here that just came in. How close and secure, how close and how secure is parking on campus, especially for the participants staying there?
Mm. Um, there are two parking lots that we will probably have access to on campus. One is a central lot, literally in the middle of all of the buildings. There is another lot that might be in play as well, and that's actually an underground lot that is frequently used during the academic year for faculty and staff. So there, I would say from where you would park, it would probably be a 5-minute walk or less from your vehicle to any of the locations.
Okay, great. And similar to what Jennifer said about shortening the Priz to a short name, you will hear me say this probably about 3 times in the next couple of minutes. Speaking of parking, Catholic U's parking is $10 a day. Is that correct, Jennifer?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay, okay, great. And that's open for people who are staying on campus or off campus, correct?
Yes, yes, that's correct. So if you are considering staying at the hotel, but you don't necessarily want to keep your vehicle there, you can take advantage of on-campus parking.
Great. Let's actually stop right there real quick and transition to a little bit more about housing because I would
Mhm.
venture to say that housing is the question we have received the most in advance of. So
Yes.
let's start and back into this. So let's
Mhm.
actually talk about the hotel option first because it's the more I'd say traditional option than what
Mhm.
NPM members are used to.
Mhm.
So we have a room block at a hotel, right, called the
Mhm.
Royal Sonesta.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about why that one was chosen, how it is in proximity to CUA?
Yeah. We worked very closely with the Catholic University conference staff to choose the best location. The Royal Sonesta in DuPont Circle is the one that they recommended most highly of all the options. We were also able to work with the Sonesta to get a pretty great rate of $209 a night. Uh, we haven't been in dense metropolitan areas for quite some time. And for better or for worse, Washington, D.C. Hotel rates are beginning to rival those of New York and LA and San Francisco and all the way up and down, the major metropolises. That's really what we're seeing. So we were delighted to be able to secure that rate there. And the Royal Sonesta is directly on the Red Line, and it is 8 stops from DuPont Circle to Brookland, LAND, slash CUA metro stop. So it would literally be you just have to get on one train and go from DuPont Circle to CUA's campus.
Great. Let's stay on this too. We have two
Yeah.
follow-up questions. Number
Hmm.
one, someone said if we stay, and you just touched on this, but I want us to reiterate, if we stay at the hotel,
Hmm.
I noticed it's about a 20-minute drive to the university. Will there be transportation provided
Hmm.
between the hotel and the university by NPM?
Yeah. At this point in time, we are not planning on transportation. That may change depending on how many people we have staying at the hotel. But at this point in time, I want to be very clear that there is not an NPM provided transportation option. I do want to add one other note, and that is I do highly encourage you to take a ride share or use Metro. If you are not used to driving in Washington, D.C., it can be confusing on a good day. I went to college here and I've lived here again since 2007, and I can't tell you how many times I take a wrong turn. So I encourage you to use public transportation whenever possible.
So again, just to reiterate, we'd recommend you use public transit, but I will say too, follow-up question on the hotel. We got an email recently saying, "Hey, we looked at the hotel details online on the website. It says there's a $71.98 a day, so almost $72 a
Mhm.
day parking fee at the Royal Sonesta. Is that a typo?" We had to say, no, that's not a typo. That's not something that we
Right.
control. So we suggest you could, if you wanted to, you could park on campus for
Mhm.
$10 a day and make that parking cost a little bit more reasonable. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay.
As many people know, oftentimes if a hotel doesn't own their parking facilities, they don't have much leverage in changing those rates. So
Mm-hmm.
we were
Okay.
a little bit at the mercy of DC parking prices there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Another parking question that just came in. Now this person says I'm going to assume it's the CUA website, but it says you can only stay Monday through oh, okay. No, he's saying us. It says you can only stay Monday through Friday on campus. Is there a way to stay on the campus on Friday? Oh, okay. Well, that's going to transition us to the campus housing question. That was my fault. Okay, so this year NPM is offering off-campus room blocks at the Royal Sonesta as well as on-campus housing. So let's talk a little bit about what that's going to look like.
Mhm.
Jennifer, can you break that down for us?
Yes, yes. We wanted to make it as straightforward as possible for people attending the convention, as well as we work with the Catholic University staff, the residence life staff. So our attendees will have two options. They can check in on Sunday, which some people will like to do, as you typically would if you're doing any of our pre-convention events, either on Sunday night or on Monday during the day. So you can check in on Sunday and you would check out on Friday morning. The rate per night is $90 a night. That does include your breakfast every morning at the dining hall. There's also an option, perhaps you're not doing any of the pre-convention events or you have other plans for the weekend. You can check in on Monday morning and check out on Friday morning. So there is a 5 night option, Sunday through Friday, and there's a 4 night option, Monday through Friday.
Sorry, I was in the chat box with everyone. So just to be clear, and I'm sorry to be a broken record, but I really want to make sure everyone understands. If I came to you and said I want to own, like, let's say I'm presenting a breakout and I only want to be there Tuesday night and leave Wednesday. So what's the option for that in the on-campus portion of things?
Unfortunately, we don't have that flexibility to do just one evening, and that's due to, in large part, to the way the Catholic University organizes their residence hall rooms.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Great. So then that goes back to the question that Jonathan was just writing in the chat that I misunderstood at first. It says you can only stay Monday through Friday on campus. Is there a way to stay on the campus on Friday night into Saturday? Unfortunately, I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to be an option that
Mhm.
CUA has afforded us.
Yes, Catholic University has an incredibly busy conference schedule throughout the summer. And so that makes it a little bit challenging for us because we can't have that much flexibility. but it also makes it great for us because we know that they are super experienced in doing this and they have great systems in place.
Yeah, that also is a benefit.
Mhm.
Another question submitted to us in advance earlier today
Mhm.
was, it may be silly, this person said. I don't think it's silly, but it may be silly to ask, but is the campus housing at Catholic U air conditioned?
Yes, all residence hall rooms are air conditioned. Some of them might still have window units. Some of them might have a more central AC system. It's going to depend on which building you're housed in. But yes, it is July in DC. They all have
This,
AC.
good. And same with the university, correct? Like, because all of the rooms will have AC?
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
great. Okay, great.
All classrooms, I think there are, there may be one or two very historic spaces on campus that might not have air conditioning, but at this point in time, we're not planning on using those spaces, so it's not a problem.
Great. Okay, great. Another question that came in, real quick about parking before we move
Mhm.
on to something else. The person asked essentially, is there in and out privileges for the on-campus housing parking? If you
Oh,
stay off,
yes,
if you stay
yes.
off campus and want to use the parking lot for $10 at CUA, can you come and go all day for that price, or once you leave, you must pay again to park later
Oh,
in the
you
day?
you will have a parking pass. It will essentially be an online process for you. Your vehicle and plate will be registered so that campus security or parking enforcement knows that your vehicle should be there on campus. So to that end, yes, you can come and go.
Great. Okay,
Mhm.
good. So that, yeah, they're not going to have to pay again if they leave and then come back that
Correct.
day. Okay,
Correct.
great. Thank you.
It's one and done. One and done.
One and done. Okay, great. All right, so then let's go one step further. Let's talk about the on-campus meals. So we've touched a
Yes.
bit about this. We have quite a few questions coming in about this particular part. So let's talk about this. So we're going back to college, everyone. We're going to go eat at the dining hall. I actually don't mind this at all. Actually, I think this is a wonderful model because then we can all have our meals as an option right on campus. So can people sign up for the meal plan if they stay on campus or if they don't stay on campus or either?
Yes,
Okay.
you can. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are staying on campus, you have the option to do a Sunday night through Friday morning package or a Monday night through Friday morning package. If you are staying off site, whether you're staying at the Royal Sonesta or somewhere else, your option would be to have that Monday night through Friday morning package.
Okay, so that's
Mhm.
Sunday options only if you're staying on campus. Is that
Correct.
correct? Okay.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, great.
And one other thing I want, and you may have just been about to ask this question. One challenge is that because the university needs to plan in
It
order
needs
the
to.
right amount of food, unfortunately, we can't offer an a la carte option at the dining hall. So you either need to kind of calculate what your typical dining cost might be during a convention and decide whether you want to take advantage of the full uh, Sunday through Friday, Monday through Friday plan, or if you're going to sort of do your own thing. There's not like a single meal door fee. We can't offer that, unfortunately.
And additionally, let's just say I want to go out with my chapter to dinner.
Mhm.
Um, there's no like I'm it's kind of a sunk cost to miss that meal. Is am I understanding that correctly?
You are correct. I think it's
Okay.
just like college again.
Yeah.
If you decide to go across the street to Jersey Mike's for lunch and get some sandwiches, you sort of, no pun intended, ate that meal on your meal plan.
Okay. All right, great. Lots of questions coming in. Are there going to be gluten-free options or other diet restriction options in the dining hall?
Yes, when you register, we always ask about the big nine known allergens. And I've actually eaten in the dining hall several times now, and they are always great about labeling things. And depending on the number of people that they have on campus, they often have a section that is free of the nine most common food allergens as well. So gluten-free, dairy-free, yes, 100%.
Great. Another question that came in on our Google form in advance. If we sign up for the meal plan, how far away is the cafeteria from where sessions, mass, and other activities will be held?
Mhm. So from the Pris Center, the dining facility is I would say again, I feel like my default answer, I sound like the broken record now, is 5 minutes. But for average mobility, I would say no more than 5 minutes. If you walk a little bit slower, maybe it's 7 to 10. If you're a sprinter, 2 to 3.
Okay, great. Thank you. Forgive me, I'm just going to make sure I get all the questions. Breakfast is paid for in both the room charge and the food package? Question mark. Someone asked.
Oh, that is a great question. So we have adjusted the price. So if you are staying on campus, your $90 includes that, and the meal plan price just reflects the cost of lunch and dinner. If you are staying off campus and you choose to select the meal plan, that will include those 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's a great question.
Great. Okay. Another one, too. I think I want to address the elephant in the room because this person who submitted this makes a very fair question. But I want
Mhm,
everyone to know that before I say this, that this came up quite a bit in our planning whenever we discuss this. Okay. So
mhm.
Jane asks, it seems that those 2 days only would be a low cost alternative for many who might want to experience. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm so sorry. Here, regarding housing. Sorry, Jane
Mm.
had submitted 2 questions. I will get to that too. Um, Regarding housing, wouldn't it be good to offer a 2 night option for people who want to only come for the Bell Festival or the Cantor Institute? It seems that those 2 days only would be a low cost alternative for many, but who could not go to the convention. So Jennifer, can you talk about, we addressed this in a lot of our planning. Could you
We
talk about
we
that?
did and that's a great question, Jane. And again, as I had said earlier, we wish that we had been able to offer that, particularly for the Handbell Festival participants. And I that's actually I'm so glad you brought this up, and because I don't even think we talked about this, Amanda. Uh, in terms of registration, the National Handbell Festival is the only event that can be registered for by itself. All of the other pre-convention and post-convention event registrations, you're only eligible to partake in those if you are attending the full convention.
I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, thank you. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, how many rooms will be available for staying on at Catholic University?
Mm. At the moment, we have about 500 rooms available. Uh, one thing to add about that, those are double occupancy. So if you have received your convention brochure, you've heard us talk about Jack and Jill rooms. So that means there are 2 bedrooms. So say Amanda and I were roommates, right? We would have our own bedroom and we would be sharing a bath. We are actually working out the logistics right now for a single supplement. So if you don't want to have somebody in that other room, we're working out the logistics for that as well. So please stay tuned.
Great. Okay, great. All right, let's see. Another question about food. Are there going to be any grab and go options for food?
Yeah. Oh, these are all really great
I told
questions.
you.
I'm so glad they are coming up. The options on campus, because it is the summertime, are a little bit more limited. We're discussing that as a core committee right now to see what we might be able to provide. However, right across from campus, I mean, literally you cross the street, there are several restaurants. There's a Trader Joe's, a Starbucks. So there are some quick options as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, let's go back to some of the other questions we submitted in advance. Okay. Another good one to discuss. This one was submitted in advance today. All right, Jennifer. Someone said, I am curious about the limit you've advertised of 750 registrants. That seems like a low number. So, can
Mhm.
you talk about, first off, what that number is? That 750 we've been
Yes,
seeing.
yes. So 750 is the maximum seating capacity of the great room of the Prisbella Center. So the great room is our plenum space. It's our concert space. It's, where we have our members meeting, all of those wonderful events. So that has a audience seating capacity of 750. So that is where that number came from. And I know a couple of people have said to me, Jennifer, that just seems so low. But if you look at the numbers, say, for example, in Kansas City 2 years ago, which was our largest post-pandemic convention, we had right about 600 paid registrants for that event. So looking at 750 paid registrants, that's definitely a pretty significant uptick already in our planning. Mhm.
I want to also just clarify when you say paid, like what do you mean whenever you say 600 paid, 750 paid? Like what
Oh,
is that?
that's a great question. So we consider a paid registration, I'm so, Jennifer Klug is the cantor at St. Bartholomew in Bethesda, Maryland, and I decide to register, pay my fee, and come to the convention. That is what we considered a paid registration, as opposed to if I am national staff on the core committee, one of our speakers. Those are exhibitors. Many of those people receive a complimentary registration, so those aren't figured into that head count.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, let's take a look here. So, a couple more things about the convention itself.
Mhm.
So, let's talk. Just another question that was submitted in advance. Will Okay, first off, actually, I'm going to go to this one. Someone asked in the chat box a while ago, where will the closing liturgy be held?
Great question. Amanda, I may actually combine a couple of questions with my answer to this one. Uh, I am so delighted that our convention Eucharist, including our recommissioning, will be at the Basilica Shrine at 5 p.m. on Thursday evening. That is just going to be, if you've ever spent a moment in that upper church, you know what a beautiful space it is. That is also where our Tuesday evening concert will take place as well, because it is our national basilica. Any liturgy held there, any concert held there, must be open to the public. So that means a couple of things. First of all, if you have family in the DC area and you want to invite them to come to our convention Eucharist, please do so. We have the opportunity to include literally thousands more in that liturgy. The other benefit of that is what a wonderful way to show so many people what we do as the National Association of Pastoral Musicians. And that will be, think that's going to be pretty spectacular. So, and the final upshot of that is, of course, we don't have to get into buses to go there. It's right there on the campus.
And I think it's also a good place to mention too that the shrine, the Basilica Shrine, is also going to be where reconciliation will take place during the
Yes.
week,
Hmm.
and daily mass will take
Yes.
place at the
Hmm.
Basilica. So just
Hmm.
again, check the convention brochure for those specific times. Okay, great. All right. Then another question that came up. Forgive me, I'm going through all the different things.
Hmm.
Will any event throughout convention week be held outside the campus and the Basilica combined?
The only events that will take place off campus, if you will be our pre-convention and post-convention events.
Okay,
Everything
great.
else will be right there.
Okay, great. Another person asked, where will the exhibit hall be located?
Hmm. So, uh, the exhibit hall, we actually get to have a little bit of fun with. The Prisbella Center has its own food court within the building that doesn't operate during the summer. So, we are able to use the entire seating area of that food court and convert it into our exhibit space. Many of you know that being in an exhibit hall, it can sometimes be when I say a dim affair in terms of lighting, right? It doesn't feel very bright at times. This space has natural light on three sides. It spills right out into green space on the campus as well. And so it's going to be a really inviting space. You'll want to spend time there. It's literally one floor up and over from our main gathering space.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Another question here. Let's take a look. Okay, another housing question. If
Mhm.
this has been answered, never mind. I actually don't think it has been, so thank you for asking. What about in terms of on-campus housing? what about a married couple? Would they get their own dual single rooms with shared bathroom to themselves? Are there twin beds in the single rooms? What would that look like?
Mhm. So as we understand it, the Jack and Jill may have two twin beds in each room. So I personally unpack all of my stuff on the other twin bed. That's how I do it. But we can actually look into those options, especially for married couples. If you've been to a retreat house, it often works that way. They often have a women's dormitory, a men's dormitory, and then they have accommodations for married couples as well. So when you register, please note that in your note field, and we'll see what we can do to make it a more logical housing experience for you.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to take this next one right now. So let's talk a little bit about the options where, let's say, you're listening to this live stream, live or recorded, and you're saying, this is great. I just don't have it in my budget this year to go to the convention. What is the virtual convention going to look like?
Mhm.
So I want to just talk about this really quickly. So this year, NPM isn't necessarily having a formal virtual convention where we
Correct.
have a week of its own schedule, lots and lots of content being pushed at certain times, like it's its own convention week. However, we are having a very sizable amount of breakouts recorded.
Mhm.
And we are also going to be offering for those who register for this, the recorded
Yes.
content. They will be getting live streams of the
Mhm.
opening, all the keynotes, the plenums, and the members meeting, and the showcase events. So the three
Mhm.
showcase events, they will all be live
Correct.
streamed to the platform at the time that they're happening. So
Mhm.
it's not a full virtual convention, it's not a full hybrid experience, but you are going to be able to connect if you sign up for that virtual content package. You will be able to connect with a chat box with other attendees
Mhm.
using the web platform both during the convention itself with those live streamed options, and you will get access to all of the recorded breakouts the week after the convention is done as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah. And for our in-person attendees, you will have access to that portal as well. So you will be able to access when you get back home, you'll be able to access the recorded content too. So, I know sometimes we have a little bit of FOMO, right? And that might help you prioritize which breakouts that you attend versus what you might watch recorded when you get back home.
That's right. And we will let you know in advance what's going to be recorded as well so you can make
Hmm.
that decision.
Hmm.
Okay, great. All right, so we still have a lot of questions. We're going to talk about the Jubilee package in a second, but I do want to talk about a safety and security question that
Hmm.
just came in through
Sure.
the chat. So
Hmm.
someone said, how will the current National Guard and ICE presence in DC impact the convention participants'
Mm,
experience?
yeah. I want to be honest, this is a situation that we've been monitoring very closely. As soon as we decided that we were going to have the convention in the nation's capital, there are always concerns about having events in the capital. So we're watching this very closely. Right now, there's been nothing has taken place on Catholic University's campus. I have been there several times myself during site visits. We have multiple members of our core committee who work on the campus. So I want to assure our members and our potential attendees that we are monitoring this very closely. We do not anticipate at this point in time that it will have any impact, but of course, we value transparency with everyone and will continue to update you if the situation changes.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. Okay, another question that came in. Someone asked as well about, let's see, will there be places on campus available for gatherings like a chapter breakfast or a social hour, etc.?
Mhm. Yeah, I just love these questions coming in. Uh, There might be some spaces particularly if your chapter is thinking about organizing something, please get in touch with us sooner than later. In particular, reach out to our colleague Kesna Sosa. Her email address is membership@npm.org. Reach out to her if you're thinking about a chapter gathering so that we can start working with you sooner than later to find a space. As I mentioned, there are a few restaurants in the area, but you might want to do something, after hours hanging out on one of the green spaces. You might all want to gather, plan to all do the meal package and gather together over breakfast in the dining hall. You want to, think about it a little bit creatively, but stay in touch with us if you're trying to plan something so that we can help you have the best experience.
Great. I don't know if we addressed this yet, but I think it's good to mention now. Are we doing day passes this year?
Because of our limited number of registrations, we are not doing day passes. That might be something that we re-examine as we get closer to the convention. I would say that wouldn't even be on the table until maybe about June at the earliest. So right now, it's not going to be an option because we do anticipate selling out.
For that reason, too, actually, let's talk really quickly about the Jubilee package. So we
Yeah.
sent out the information for the 1976 Jubilee package. Can
Mhm.
you talk what that is?
Yeah. We thought that this would be a wonderful way to combine everything for potential attendees and also provide an opportunity to support NPM as we celebrate this 50th. So, aptly named the 1976 Jubilee Package, since we were founded by Father Virgil Funk in 1976. So, the package will include, of course, your registration. It includes your campus housing, your meal package, and but a couple of VIP things too. So many of you are familiar with the Fostering the Art cocktail reception we've had as a fundraiser. We're calling it Fostering the Legacy this year, and it will actually be a dinner. So it includes your ticket to that dinner. It also includes a reserved seat in the plenum hall for you. So we'll be in touch with you, and you can actually choose where you would want to sit during the 3 days, and you will never have to worry about getting there early to get the great seat because it will be reserved for you. It includes the opportunity to do a quarter-page ad in the program book to express your congratulations to NPM, and you will be noted as one of our 1976 Jubilee package holders in that as well. And last but not least, it includes a $500 tax deductible contribution to the association.
Great, great. And how would one purchase that if they were
Yeah.
interested in that?
So if you are interested in that package, you can contact the main office, either calling 240-247-3000, or you can email npmsing@npm.org. I love that we've always had the same email address. That's great. And we can get you connected with the details of that. When it comes to when registration actually opens, you're going to receive basically a code so that you would go on and register like usual, and you'll be basically, zeroed out at the end when it comes time to pay. You're still muted.
Oh,
There you
thank
go.
you. Oh my
Great.
gosh, thank you. Okay, another question that came in. For the first time, I would like to bring a representative group from my choir, but we'll need to do some fundraising. Are there
Mhm.
any discounts available for groups, or do you have any suggestions from folks who have learned to do this well over the years?
Yeah, yeah. Um, Well, I wanted to talk about one thing first, which is it always behooves you to become a member because you actually save money by merit of which membership level you have. We are exploring a limited number of buddy rates. So if you are, say, for example, a standard member, that you could bring somebody at that same rate. So that could be an option as well. But Amanda, you've done some beautiful work in the past about creating materials to help folks fundraise, explain to their pastor or parish administrator the value of the convention. I know we're planning something similar for this year. Do you maybe just want to say a sentence or two about that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So typically, we do offer some bulletin advertisement information. We typically will offer like a sample letter
Mhm.
that directors of music can send out to their choir members or other ensemble members or other parish musicians, inviting them to join. In the past, we've also written an email or a letter that you can use to appeal to your pastor and or business manager,
Mhm.
helping them understand the value of attending an NPM convention as well.
Mhm.
So those things will be forthcoming. Yeah. Okay. But again, if you submitted that question, you'd like to chat about it further, we'd be glad to help. Please feel free to reach out to us again. npmsing@npm.org. We're always happy to help. Okay, so we're coming up to the last little bit here. Let's talk about next steps. Okay, so let's talk about registration opening. So someone even asked, registration, what time does registration open on February 1st? So first off, what day does registration open? What's that going to look like?
Registration, yes, does open on Sunday, February 1st. Um, Transparency. We put February 1st in all the materials, and then we looked at each other and said, hey, that's a Sunday.
That's a Sunday. Whoops. So, what are we going to do about that, Jennifer? Go ahead.
Yes. So yes, registration will still open on Sunday, February 1st. We're going to actually we work a shorter day on Fridays in the national office from 8:30 to 12:30, but we're going to close the office on Friday, January 30th to make sure that we have time to work offline and make sure 110% that everything is ready to go for you. And I anticipate, and we maybe Amanda, maybe we could send another email out about this with the official time. I'm anticipating that we'll probably flip the switch around maybe 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, probably something like that. So the plan is that the NPM national staff will be working unofficially on Sunday, February 1st.
Mhm.
However, like everyone, or probably pretty much everyone on this live or recorded call, we will be at church. So some of us have parish music ministry jobs as well. So we will be available. Registration will be open. However, if you have a question, there might be a slight delay on Sunday in replying. Until, of course, we return from church as well. And then we will be at full force on Monday, February 2nd. And the office will open as usual, which will probably have quicker response
Yes,
times as well.
yes, definitely.
Okay, great. So then, those are all the questions. Wait, I think we have some more coming in. Will there be beer and hymns this year?
We don't have a beer and hymns planned at this moment, but we encourage you to be spontaneous and create your own.
Isn't there going to be a party at the end of the week? Isn't there a jam session scheduled? Something like that?
Well, it always seems to just happen spontaneously, right, Amanda? I mean, I think
Yeah,
the
that's
the
true.
first ones literally happened around a piano in a lobby somewhere, and things just
Mm-hmm.
took off from there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep, exactly.
we'll
Okay,
let
well,
the Holy Spirit do its work.
that's right. It tends to do that at our conventions. So, last thing, the convention brochure has a lot of information, and it's on our
Yes.
website as well. Someone also asked, can you break down all of the public transit options for Washington, D.C. in relation to CUA? I would love to do that, but it's actually already on the website. You can do that. The Washington, D.C. public tourism website was excellent in giving us information. So you'll be able to find that under the general information area on the website and in the convention brochure as
Mhm.
well. Um, if you are a Select Plus, Standard, or Premium level member, you may or may not have received your paper version of Pastoral Music in the mail yet, but you should have received your digital one last week.
Mhm.
That has the convention brochure in it. We also have made the convention brochure public. It is on our homepage as well. Feel free to explore it. That will get you a lot more, even more information than what we explored right now. Jonathan just got on too. Jonathan, I think we already addressed this, but I want to say it really quickly. How many rooms will be available on campus? Should we act quickly?
I do encourage you to register early if you're thinking about on-campus accommodations. There should be more than enough because we know that some people may not want to stay at the Royal Sonesta, they may not want to stay on campus. We should have enough, but we do encourage you to register early to ensure that you get a room on campus.
Great, great. We had two questions that just came in about gathering sessions. Okay, so the impromptu gatherings you just mentioned, will there be open spaces available for the impromptu gatherings?
The Prisbella Center has lots of open spaces for things to happen organically. If you're staying in the residence halls, there are, of course, lounges in there. There's lots of green open space too, and the campus has some great furniture outside. So I would say when you get there, either on Monday or Tuesday, check things out and see what might make the most sense for your group.
Great. Another question. Do dorm buildings have gathering spaces and lounges where a few friends can gather in the evening?
Yeah, yeah. They most of them do have lounges, so that's a great option. Some of our guests may wind up in suites and they might have some type of small galley kitchen or something like that available to them as well. That's not something that we can guarantee, but you may walk in and be pleasantly surprised to have a few more amenities at your disposal.
Okay, great. One more question that's very simple, but also very critical. Is there Wi Fi on campus?
Oh, yes. It is a college campus, so there is Wi-Fi and it is excellent.
Now, is that an extra expense for registrants or does it come automatically? What does that look like?
No, no, that will be included. So, again, one benefit of not being in a hotel. How many times have we been in a hotel ballroom and you can't get onto the hotel Wi-Fi because you need to have the special meeting code or, the signal is suppressed. You won't have that experience at Catholic University.
Great. Okay. All right. If anyone is watching the recording or is just tuning into the live right now and they have a question that we didn't address, how can they get in touch with us?
They can email us at npmsing@npm.org. That's often the quickest way to do it.
Okay.
And then we can make sure that we field the question to the right national staff member so that we can get back in touch with you.
I do want to echo too, though, that because we are limited in the physical space to 750 paid,
Mhm.
we know that many NPM members, and I will confess, I am one of those longtime NPM members that tends to wait until May or June to register for the convention.
Mm.
We're going to register. We're going to recommend against that this year. We're going to recommend that if you are considering attending the convention, you think that's in your plans, to book sooner rather than later because we do
Yes.
expect to possibly sell out.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great point, Amanda. I echo that. And also, the sooner you register, the more advantageous rate that you'll receive as
Oh,
well.
that's also true. Yes. Okay,
Mhm.
great. I also want to mention that early bird rate that we advertised, since you mentioned it,
Mhm.
we actually extended it this year a little bit. I believe it's April 10th, because in
Mhm.
the past we had it very close, like within a couple days to Easter Sunday. And we've received constructive feedback that business managers were not back in on Easter Monday or Easter
Right.
Tuesday, and they couldn't cut the check that we needed for registration. So we extended it to Friday, April 10th, I believe, is
Mhm.
that early bird deadline. So that
Yeah.
gives you a couple of days to sleep after Triduum and then stumble back into the office and then ask for anything you need so you can complete your registration.
Yes, yes, that's a great point. And one final reminder about registration that you have the option to either pay online with a credit card, and that's subject to a 3% transaction fee to help us cover our costs, or you can do an e-check, ACH, or even a paper check too, if that is your business manager's preference.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you all so much for joining us. Excellent questions. We really hope that we covered everything that you were asking about. If I missed one, again, please email us at
Mhm.
npmsing@npm.org and we'd be happy to answer them. Jennifer, thank you for your time today. Just
Great.
this was great, and we will see you all. We hope to see you in DC, but either way, we hope you stay warm and enjoy these last few weeks of ordinary time before Ash Wednesday and Lent.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
All right, take care, everyone. Bye bye.